Hi class. When we left off, we were learning about wind turbines, and we left off designing our own wind turbine rotor. So today, I'm going to take the time to show you guys how to build the one that was shown to you in the example. So let's get started. Alright, so we're going to learn how to turn these two materials into this hub. It's going to have a center hole, which is 3/16 inch in diameter, and the side holes, which are 1/4 inch in diameter, which will serve to hold the rotor blades. So here we go. So grab your PVC cap and your dowel rod, probably about this size. You might be able to get a longer one, but enough so that you can grab a hold of it. Take the cap on the top, right there, and grab a mallet and hammer it in. Get a couple nice hard hits, making sure it doesn't come off. It's nice and tight and fit in there. Okay, once you got that, we're going to move on to the belt sander. Alright, ladies and gents, so we're now here at the disc sander. Okay, the disc sander has two pieces, has the belt and the disc, and there's a label on the side which tells you which side it rotates. Okay, so the disc rotates counterclockwise, so which means you want everything to push. You want everything that you're sanding to be on the left side. Okay, that way when you're sanding, things are pushed down towards the table. If you put them on this side, it might cause the disc to lift up the material and hit you in your body, so you want none of that happening there. I highly recommend you using the disc sander instead of the belt sander, because you'll get a nice finish on the hub. So what we're trying to do again here is we're going to try to sand all these edges, and we're going to try to make a nice dome shape. That way it's a lot more aerodynamic. And see that? So we're going from this to this on my left hand. Okay, so I'm going to show you a quick demonstration how to do that. Let me just get the camera to the right focus, and we'll continue on from there. Okay. Okay, like I mentioned before, there's two places that you can sand things. There's the disc and there's the belt. There's the belt, and here's the disc. Okay, there should only be one person in the station. Nobody else, just you, the one who's operating the machine. If you're working with a buddy, make sure that they're standing right behind you, but make sure that they're watching what you're doing, so that way they're checking your safety rules and procedures. If you forget any of the safety rules and procedures that we talked about, you may also find them right here. They're all listed right on each side of each machine, so that way you know what to do. Remember to wear your safety glasses, right? Make sure you're not wearing any jewelry, your hair's tied back. And again, we've gone over the safety procedures, and we'll do it again in class. But let's move on to this tutorial. So going back to this, what you want to do is just turn on the machine, let it get up to speed, and once it gets up to speed, you're going to hold it and you're going to twirl this guy around it until you get into the nice dome shape. So let me just show you guys. Try not to push too hard, okay? Otherwise, you'll tear away too much material. Yeah, it's coming along pretty nice, okay? Here we are. The top, we're going to have a nice flat surface on it, so we're going to try to make that. wait till the machine stops before you leave. Alright, and that's it. Look at that. Alright, so it's nice and even. Try not to shove it in there, otherwise you'll tear away all the PVC plastic out of that, and you don't want none of that, okay? So that's it for the disc center. Now we're going to go and remove the cap from the dowel rod. So that way all we have is this short piece right here, okay? Alright, let's move on. Alright, so I understand a lot of you guys haven't used this machine before, but this is called bandsaw. Okay, so there's the switch. Right there is the blade. Okay, let me open it up for you guys so you guys can see it. This is something you guys shouldn't do, I should do in case it ever breaks or needs replacement. But there's the inside of a bandsaw. It's called a bandsaw because it has a band inside that has teeth. It's got a set of teeth that cut material and it rotates clockwise direction. Alright, so I'll talk more about that in class, or I or one of the other teachers will explain to you more about the functioning and all the cool stuff about the bandsaw. So here we go. This machine will already be set up for you guys, so you don't have to tweak it or do anything to it. All you got to do is make sure that you understand that this is the slider. It's this piece right here. Why is it called a slider? Well, simply put, there's a rail right here. You put the slider on it, and look at that, it just slides along. So here's how this works, okay? You're going to put your piece of material. This is just a practice one so you guys can see how it works. Okay? The piece of material just sits against the guide. Let me see if we can get a better shot there. Alright. See that? My fingers hold it, and now I can slide in and out accordingly so that the piece touches the blade when it's turned on and it cuts it. Alright, so let's see. I'm gonna turn it on. So that's the sound it's gonna make before you start cutting. So here we go. You can slide in and out this way, but you're always holding on to the piece up against the slide. Let it stop before you remove any of those pieces. And there we go. And there you have it. Okay. Here's the cap that we made before. Well, the assembly, I should say. I haven't really cut out the hub yet. But what we want to do here is we're going to go to the bandsaw. I'm going to try to line it up as much as possible. The cap to the blade. As much as possible, but not close enough, okay? Sometimes the blade can cut more than we need to and not exactly at the right spot. But we want to cut at the neck. So, here we go. I'm going to pull aside. Start it up. Slowly move it, okay? Alright, so if you did it right, all you should have is this guy right here. See that? I didn't cut too much of it. It's just at the right spot. I didn't cut any of the PVC plastic. Alright guys, so here's the next step. We're going to make marks so that we know where to drill the holes. According to your drawings, we had the center hole, which is 3/16 of an inch. We need to mark the center of our hub right in the middle. Okay. It's going to be kind of hard to do while holding a camera, but I'm going to try. Okay, I'm going to make a little dot. I'm going to do that. Double check. Just a small dot in the center. Okay, so here I have this wooden piece that is pre-made, courtesy of Mr. Nelson, and all we got to do is just take our cap. It's been sanded down, so that way it lays nice and flat inside here. See that? I'm going to put the pen right up against there, and that's going to mark the center line where my 1/4 inch holes are going to go. See that? Line goes all the way along that. So I marked the center line, so you remember. And now we also need to mark where we're going to make the center marks for the side holes. Come to your template. And obviously mine, the one I'm making, it's a 4-blade, so it's really simple to do. I just got to lay this guy on top of the template, nice and center. Grab my mark, make a vertical line, matching up to that. Vertical line here, vertical line on this side, and on the back side. For those of you who are making 3 blades and 5 blades, I will have a template ready for you, so that you guys can actually just mark it and it's ready to go. What I might even have is clean out these blocks, and I will have stickers with arrows pointing to where you should mark the little tick marks, so that you know where to center hole. So little tick mark. Yeah, so all you'll have to do is just go like this, make your little circle all the way around, and just go mark, mark, mark all your center holes. Okay, so now that it's marked, we're going to make some pilot holes that will help guide the drill bit into it so we can make the holes. Okay? So, I'm going to put the dowel pin right at the center. And I believe that's the center that I marked. It's a little smudged. Actually, I'll use the short dowel pin. It's hard to match it up. Get a couple hits with the hammer, and it should make a little dent in there that's right at the center. I'm going to use this one just to make sure. Alright, be careful not to rub the marks, otherwise you'll smudge it and you're not going to get the perfect center marks. This is a little tough. You're going to have to hold. Make a little. Alright, I think they're nicely spaced. Got the center one. And now we can move on. Alright, so here we are at the drill press. Okay? Now again, if you don't know what the safety rules are for the drill presses, we reviewed them in class, but also if you forget, they're on each side of the machine, rules that you can follow. Okay? So make sure your safety glasses are on. Make sure no one's in your work area. If you're working with a partner, make sure they stand behind you and they cause no distractions to you, okay? They make sure that they are also checking for your safety and their safety as well. So you're checking out for each other if you're working with a partner. So here we are. And what we have here is a table vise. And if you turn it clockwise, it closes down, so you see it moving. If you turn it counterclockwise, it opens. Clockwise closes. So as the old saying says, lefty loosey, righty tighty. This drill press is already set up for you, so you guys can actually make the center hole. That's 3/16 of an inch. So there it is. It's marked down for you in your drawing. So here we go. What we got to do is take this guy, take the cap, and we're gonna turn it right, turn the vise right. Make sure that this guy, the cap, is touching up. It's right up against the wall of the vise. Okay, that's about right. And squeeze down kind of nice and tight. You can have a teacher check to make sure it looks right and nice and straight, because there's some people who like to put it crooked. So like this, that's a no-go. Make sure that that little dot is facing straight out, as straight as possible. Okay, close it. Okay. All right, I'm gonna turn it on, and watch carefully what I do, because I gotta make sure that I bring this down and up. It's gonna have to go all the way through. Just doing that motion slowly. This ensures we get a straight hole through the whole cap. Notice I'm holding the table vise correctly all the way through. Wait for the machine to stop. Clean it up a little bit. Look at that. Right down the center. Looks pretty good. Alright, so now let's move on to making the 1/4 inch holes on the sides. Alright, so here we are making the 1/4 inch holes. Make sure the workspace is nice and clean. What I'm putting on here is a table vise, different one from the other one. This one is smaller to lay the cap nice and flat up against this flat piece right there. Nowhere else, not in the middle, not on this side, just one side, one of these flat sides. The way this table vise works is the same way as the big one. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Watch your fingers as you're closing it down. You got to make sure that that little first one of the marks is facing up. Alright, that's nice and tight. And we're going to try to line it up. Make sure that when you hold down the table vise, you're holding it down on the table, not pushing it sideways, otherwise it'll slide and you'll bend the drill bit, and also you won't get the right hole. Line it up. And how deep should you go? Well, it's a 1/4 inch, but I already set it up for you, so you only have to go down a certain depth. This guy, these little nuts, will actually stop the drill press from going any farther than it's supposed to. So it's already at the right depth. You don't have to go any more, any less. So here we are. I'm going to line it up. And we're going to turn it on and let it go. Nice and easy. Shut it off, wait for it to stop. Loosen it up, bring it down to the next one. Work at a comfortable speed. Don't rush it, otherwise you'll make mistakes. So slow down. There it is. All right. Loosen it up. Clean it up. And there you have your hub. It's all done. Now we can get started at making all the blades and the pegs for it. Nicely centered. Everything's done. Alright, check that off your list, and let's move on to the next part.